And because of the action in the backfield, the secondary had the flow to the outside, and then the cutback to be able to get into the end zone.
Last year in Week 18, he played 5 snaps against Denver. But here, his first real action in terms of game time. There's a pass to Worthy right on the screws. And clearly some terrific learning experiences and downs for Olathe, who will run it and then throw it on the fly. Nice looking one-handed grab. Brown. A 41-yard field goal try by Butker. Little wind to deal with, and he'll get it in and get 3 more on the board. Spears the back, 3rd and 4. And a block by Martin. There's a great catch on the far side. It was brought in by Iomanner.
Right in position today.
Pollard back there now, 2nd down 8. They bring everybody. Here comes Tranquil, here comes Hicks. And he's belted as he throws and caught DK. Right in front of Fulton. Was he in? They say he was.
Kind of a revamped offensive line. They've got to. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 3rd down 7. Here's Spears. There is a nice block by Jefferson. Diving low.
And he was trying to get a quick snap.
1st and goal. Here they go. Ward, end zone, caught, touchdown. DK.
Easy touchdown right there.
Olathe who wears that number 19, Joe Montano, or that 19 for the Chiefs. Here they come up the middle with Sweat. Chased by Simmons. Outside he goes. And caught downfield, grabbed by Pacheco. Inside the 40. He bought time.
He did.
And his running back got free. And on the play, he picks up 32. A first-year player with his first NFL snaps last week, starting in Godric today. 3rd and 4. Olathe underneath and incomplete. A little bit wide. Covered on the play well by the linebacker, Cody Barton. He's already belted one home from 54. Here's a 51-yarder. It is a crosswind from the near side to the far. And he is going to miss it. Wide right. Here is a 3rd and 8, we'll call it, at the 43. Spears the back. He'll release. Got away inside from Jones. Out to Spears. He'll drive and he'll work his way into the grasp of Bolton with a nice tackle at the 50 and a yard shy of the first. Gain of 7.
Nope, they're going for it. With a 10-point lead.
And I think they're going to be short. Now they tried that tush push, the quarterback sneak. It did not work. He was shy. 500, 2nd down and 12. Olathe outside, wide open. He's got Worthy. Xavier Worthy takes it inside the 10. Down to the 5. 1st and goal. Tackled by Hall. Never thrown a pass in the NFL until today. Here he is. 3rd and goal. Got away once. Dancing, fumbled, loose. And the Chiefs have recovered.
We've set a standard here for a long time, and that's really what his message is. This is going to be a great opportunity, and whoever's in there, we need you to play well.
27-yarder by Butker. 3 more on the board. In 2027, they move to the new stadium. 2nd down 10. First play, 4th quarter.
Hey, welcome to the edition, week 16 of the Red Hour, man. Today's going to be a heck of a show. Today's going to be a heck of a show. Tonight, we've got a lot to unpack. The Chiefs fall 26-9 to the Titans in Nashville. The game where the numbers tell a very clear story about typically how this team was this season or is this season. And then today, the biggest off-field news we've ever covered.
Off-field? You mean the whole field?
Yeah, true that. The Chiefs have officially announced their plans to move their stadium to Kansas City, Kansas.
Can we get another round of applause?
With the new practice facility also going to Olathe. Let's start with football. Fellas, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Doing good. I want to send a shout out to my mama because I know she's watching.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man.
Q.
It's a good week.
Yeah, man. This game yesterday was decided by A lot of execution from the Nashville, Tennessee Titans. Looking at the numbers, the Chiefs for 133 total yards, the Titans 376 yards. So that should tell you a lot. And then also time of possession, 38 minutes for the Titans. Darren, this wasn't about turnovers. There were none. This was about sustaining drives.
About sustaining drive, but it was also just about execution and lack of preparation, I would say. I mean, you could say that they had the entire week for this game, but from Andy Reid on down, obviously he's always going to take the criticism for it and put the blame on him, but there was nothing in their game plan that said that they were coming out to win this game yesterday, which is disappointing because you lost to the worst team in the NFL, and in embarrassing fashion. Embarrassing.
Chiefs 1 for 9 on third down, no offensive touchdowns, just 51 rushing yards. That's not winning football, Q. And credit the Titans, they ran the ball at will. Tony Pollard over 100 yards, which not a lot of running backs can say that they've done that against this Chiefs defense.
They ran the ball 40 times. I'm sorry, Q.
No, I mean that's what I'm looking at now. They ran the ball 40 times. Even the Spears kid had 52 yards, so basically 4 yards per rush. Pollard was at 4.9 yards per rush.
I mean, you had two players that had over 100 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, because he had 50 in the pass game too. So and that's did they turn the defense off?
Just look tired, man. And I mean, Chris Jones played. You had Nick Bowden play. I mean, everybody played except on the defensive side except Trent McDuffie. And Leo Chanel, he didn't play. He's out. He's on IR.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Do you lose Patrick and you become that defeated as a team?
You know what? I'm not even gonna put that on Patrick. It was just one. Even we had the show last week. We talked about Gardner Minshew, what he's going to do. I told you just a few plays that I saw him do last week when he threw the interception. I was done with him. I said I wanted to see what Chris Olathe was going to do, just because I had no faith in what Gardner Minshew. And of course, he got hurt not long in the second quarter, and so
is it time for the Chiefs to develop Pat's replacement?
No, we've been talking about at least. I've said it the last, couple of years. You've got to have somebody back there that after Pat that's able to, that you have some kind of faith in. I mean, they've had that with Chad Henne. I mean,
that's why they had
anything is possible.
The veteran quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I mean, you had it with who was it for Chad Henne? You've had it with
even after
Matt Moore.
Yeah, Matt Moore. But you also had the quarterback from Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you had it with Carson Wentz. Guys that had known how to win. And now, I mean, you've got. I think they kind of got caught. When they say caught with your pants down, they got caught with their pants down.
Yeah,
and they really did.
They didn't help themselves with the first two or three plays of the opening drive. They had penalties.
Yeah, true.
I mean, what was the false starts? A couple of false starts in a row.
And you mentioned preparation. That I can, see where you're going with that, because you think about the first couple of series, it was like false start. And I get it. You're used to a certain guy's cadence as a starter, but the ends shouldn't be used to anybody's cadence because they hadn't played much.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: you're in the huddle. They tell you, where to go off of, where the first is. I mean, that coming out.
It's a little different though.
Quarterbacks' voices are different.
I get it,
so
you know what? But you pay a lot of money to avoid costly mistakes like that.
Now for young guys, they ain't getting paid that much.
They
ain't getting Creed. They ain't getting Joe Tooney money.
They in the NFL and they get a chance.
Yeah, but it's the reason why. It's the reason why you got first string, second string, and third string guys, and you had a couple of third string guys out there.
They only play 17 games out the year. You get paid a lot of money to do the simple things, which is pay attention to the quarterback.
I got that, and it ain't an excuse, but I'm just saying you got a third string guy who had never played in the NFL except week before last,
and he's played in the NFL.
So but the thing about it is a false start is kind of one of those things. Is you may have to dumb it down a little bit, like we talked about that they had to do with the wide receivers at one point.
Yeah, I get it the first time, but you had multiple multiple. I mean, you know, with the first time, all right, you got jitters, so be it. Okay, but you can't keep doing that over and over and over.
So let me ask you this.
You could do that
real quick. Q and Darren, both of you guys. Let me ask you this. If you got more than one person doing it, then I don't feel like that's on the offensive lineman. That's on the quarterback.
See, what?
Right or wrong. If you got more than one person on the offensive line that has a false start in the first series or first couple of series, that shouldn't be on the offensive lineman. That's on the quarterback saying, "Hey guys, I'm calling it on 2. I'm calling it on 2. Don't move until you see this ball hiked." And then it's like, all right,
but you don't have time to do that.
Well, no, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, if you got multiple guys that are having the same infraction, then I would say it ain't on those guys. It's on who's calling.
Well, also you have the pressure of another man that's in front of you that's trying to knock your face off, while you also trying to catch the cadence of the quarterback that you probably hadn't taken many snaps with during the week.
Yeah.
Like, I think
if this was high school or JV varsity, I get it.
It's always
but you in the NFL and they practice all week with the exception of maybe Trey Smith. Because I know he started yesterday, but I don't know what his practice reps were like this week. But outside of that, I mean, again, you knew that you was going to be with Minshew, so you had all week to work on those cadences.
Yeah, but all week is not time to drill something in your brain. Like all week, one week window is not enough time to get on the same timing as your wide receivers. 1 week is definitely not enough time to ingest all of that. That's why you have like preseasons and stuff like that. Like,
but here's the other thing, is that he has worked. I mean, look, it'd be now. Be different if he hadn't got, but he's gotten reps with all the linemen throughout the year. So it's not like this week or yesterday was the first time they heard his cadence, because he's been there all off season. Like the linemen, most of them don't switch in and out. So a lot of them know his cadence already, because I mean he's in practice with them every day. He gets reps every day.
Now with S.A. Poe.
Well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because this is
S.A. Poe might have had second or third string.
So this is another.
I'm saying that, like, you can't.
But this is another portion of the game. So
well,
like
both teams had a lot of. They both had combined 22 penalties for 140 plus yards. So it was bad all over.
I mean, they're the worst team in the league. So you expect
and they lost to
plenty
them.
Penalties.
They lost to them.
But another point of the game that I can compare this to is if you like your place kicker gets injured, and so you have to have somebody else come in and place the ball. Like, you might have a couple of like issues, and especially when it gets late in the season, when it's cold, when you have the different elements around, like it's just very different when you switching out very integral pieces. Like, it should be like breathing. Taking snaps should be like breathing, but sometimes it's not. Like, it's very different, and you have to get in that. But also that helps them like get over that hump, because I would rather, if I'm a fan of this team, I would rather you get the lumps out now, like get all of these things out now, so when we're looking at next season and looking forward to like becoming contenders again, you could be somebody that we could count on. Because I'm with you in the fact of it should be inexcusable. It should be, but also we dealing with humans. We dealing with people that, because like during the week, don't some of these like third and fourth string linemen, don't they still like get in with the practice squad and practice other teams' plays? Like,
they're basically practicing against their scout team.
Yeah, against the ones.
They're basically their scout team. So you're not getting those looks as, and not only that, but I'm like, Gardner Minshew's cadence is a whole lot different from Patrick.
Yeah, it's going to be very different.
Like a whole lot different. Even though they try to have similar cadence, but it's different. And then when those live bullets start flying at you, you worrying about.
And that's what I'm saying.
I got Jeffrey Simmons on the other side of me. And so like I'm worried about that more than I am about being on.
Because at the same time, the Titans is learning his cadence. The offensive linemen are learning his cadence. Yeah. But also, I mean, that it just shows like you said, even by the numbers, it just shows like how unmatched they were. And I hate to see that 1 week fall off like that.
But this is the biggest thing I've been saying all year, especially when it comes to these penalties. Either coaching it or you allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, 10 penalties, regardless of if Patrick is in there or not.
Let me tell you something. You've had every person on that offensive line other than Creed Humphrey, the guy who's hiking the ball, have a false start yesterday. What does that tell you?
Coaching.
Yeah, from the quarterback. who's your coach on the field, Q?
Oh, well,
the quarterback, right?
No, I'm saying, look, there's blame to go all the way around. But what I'm saying is they've constantly had penalties along the offensive line all year long.
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad. I mean, you had it wasn't as bad.
Steve.
Yeah, but it was bad.
And you also on the road. You got to add that road. Like how was it in that stadium? Was it anything comparable to Arrowhead's noise?
No, I mean, they were selling tickets for $17 yesterday. I mean, you got two teams that ain't going nowhere, going home. Cancun on 3. That was about it.
Bro, they were probably doing the same thing I was doing when the Chiefs were bad. I would sell 5 DVDs and give you 2 tickets to the game for $20. You know what I'm saying? Buy 5 movies for $20. I give you 2.
And hopefully those were blank DVDs.
And I will agree with on a chat feed. Chris Massey said that many false starts, they weren't on the same page.
Yeah,
you weren't on the same page at all. It's hard to be on the same page when you got a guy that. And I get it. Granted, they practiced, with Gardner Minshew. They did.
Hold on, look. I get if Patrick got injured yesterday and you had Minshew for Thursday, I'd grant you that. But you had a regular work week, man. I'm just saying that
with a lot going on too.
Yeah,
a lot going on
with a travel schedule.
A lot going on.
Yeah,
this ain't a normal year. Cute. I mean, Darren.
Players have nothing to do with what we finna talk about. But
yeah. And granted. Let's talk about Chris Olathe. Gets some burn yesterday.
Did y'all like how he looked?
11 of 16. I did. 111 yards, didn't turn the ball over. But of course the offense never had like a rhythm. And I saw some similarities of Mahomes, which lets me know that he's been watching him. I mean, we had the one scramble where he gets to the line of scrimmage and then flips it to I want to say Xavier Worthy, and Xavier picks up 15, 17 yards, something like that.
I mean, I'll give him grace because he obviously wasn't expecting to play yesterday. So, and I did say I want to take a look at him. I thought he looked better than what Well, I didn't expect anything from Minshew. So,
but that's the thing, though, Darren. Pros, you gotta be expecting to play. Gotta expect.
If you're upgraded to the backup, you're ready to play.
Wait a second, man. Didn't we just 2 minutes ago when y'all talking about being ready to play, but it's okay to get these penalties? We
never said it was okay.
Yeah, you're ready to play.
Ready.
You're ready in the sense of the game has started. I'm the backup. I'm one play away.
The game started and I'm starting. I'm making a decent money in the NFL, but I can't figure out when.
It just sounds like you mad at their money.
They
like
decent money. They ain't making that kind of money, man. What
hey, look! Didn't the Chiefs just cut somebody after paying $3.5 million to be on the practice squad?
They did, but
okay.
but they ain't no young rookie young dude trying to make a living, trying to make it. It's hard out here.
Hold up, has it gotten so bad that we criticizing how much they pay in practice players? Like,
hold on. They don't pay practice players $3.5 million. Like there's a base salary. This man was getting damn near backup starter money as a running back.
Yeah.
And never, I think may have saw the field maybe once. Come on.
It didn't pan out. They did the same thing with Shady McCoy. So
so
Shady was fumbling. That's the difference.
This wasn't a shocking loss. I like you look at Denver. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't shocking. I mean, it's just like,
you should have cash out, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a shocking loss, but like they couldn't control the line of scrimmage, couldn't convert on third down, couldn't generate explosive plays. And defensively, Q, I know you talked about them. You're asking your defense to be perfect when the offense can't stay on the field. That's not sustainable for any team.
I mean, it's still supposed to be, that team, that defense. It was still Spags. You were only down. I mean, you were down Leo Chenal and Trent McDuffie, but is that much of a fall off?
Trent, yeah. When you're locking down one side of the field, I would say Trent is.
Well, a lot of people don't like to give Trent credit, but I'm gonna put
Sure, I do.
Well, we do, yeah. But I'm gonna put it to you like this: Who's the captain of the defense, Steve?
Chris Jones.
And who's the second highest player after Chris?
On the defense side of the ball?
On defense side of the ball.
George Karlaftis, is it? Yeah, George. Nick? No. George make more money than Nick? Yeah, George.
What did they combine for yesterday?
No sacks. No sacks.
Definitely no sacks, but 3 tackles.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and because when we did our pregame show, you were telling me Chris had everybody out there and, in the middle of the field, getting them hype, getting ready for the game. And again, there's the thing. I like Chris like everybody else, but, got to reflect on the leadership. You can't be out there, again, you can't be out there doing all, they've done a lot of talking, but hadn't been backed up defensively out here on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is the worst team, worst offense in the NFL, and you can't get. I think they only had 2 sacks. One was Nick Bolton. And
however, we do use that term lightly. Worst team in the NFL. However, they've been in every game here recently where they're scoring 25, 24 points. We're using that term worst team in the NFL.
Hold on. But I get that when you playing the Cleveland Browns. I get that. But this is the defending AFC champions that come into your house. With or without Patrick Mahomes, no one thought that they would look how they looked, regardless of if it was Minshew, Olathe, or Andy Reid at quarterback. With the amount of talent you got around there, you got Xavier Worthy, you got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was only targeted 4 times, 1 catch for 6 yards.
I mean, that wasn't on Travis because Gardner Minshew threw the ball at his feet 5, 6 times.
I get it. So that's what I'm saying. So again, what was going on this whole week?
Yeah, I would say it was more quarterback play in the first quarter than it was anything. I mean, Gardner Minshew just wasn't it, and I didn't see much from him. And then they kept him in. He tried to go even with his knee, but I mean, he couldn't get any torque, anything throwing the football. So I mean, watching Gardner Minshew play was very, you could say something's promising. It was not promising yesterday. It was like, man, this dude's supposed to be going for another job. Now he's torn his ACL. So now Chris Olathe gets to start on Thursday. I know we'll talk about Thursday's game. But at the end of this season, man, it's a narrative that we've seen all season long, and it's playing out in real time for us. Injuries, inconsistency, and now they're in evaluation mode. But I feel like, and we've been talking about it every snap from here, is like who belongs and who don't. Yeah.
And it's funny. I just happened to go across X yesterday, and I saw someone post an article. I'm not gonna give them the DC to respond to name them, but
name them.
No, not because I can't remember. So I don't want to promote the wrong one, and I don't want to discredit if it's the wrong person. But I noticed how they talked about stuff that you and I've been talking about lately, and that is everything should be on the table, including trading Chris Jones. Like, really? So now the fact that people listen to our show and still our content is not, it's not surprising, but it's, I mean, nothing surprises me when it comes to what we're seeing on this football field and with this team right now.
I mean, with how they played yesterday, Q, I can definitively say that anybody can get it. As far as like anybody can get got. Anybody's trade a bargaining piece on this team right now.
I mean, that has Chris Jones put up the tape for somebody to trade for what he's what his contract.
Had a couple quarters through a whole season. He's had a couple quarters, and no shade to Chris, love the dude, but he's only had a couple of quarters.
I'm saying as far as his contract value.
What does he do next year? 20.
Nah, he's averaging 30+ million. So
so that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a team is there a suitor for that in the NFL? And I mean, yes, like there's always a team looking for a guy that can plug up the middle, but also play, various positions on the line.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Has he put up the tape this year? Because
there's always somebody gullible to take on some stupid contract. Always. Always somebody gullible to take on somebody contract.
First round draft pick.
And then would he want to go somewhere else?
He ain't got no
Ooh,
choice.
he ain't got no choice. Shoot, he ain't got no choice.
I mean, he could pull a retirement.
Well,
I mean, all right,
retirement,
cool.
and
He don't get nothing in.
and you gonna pay back part of that signing bonus. So he gonna go wherever they tell him to go.
But I mean, so Trent McDuffie as well.
He's not on the and people I've been saying all along talk about X or Twitter or whatever, but I've been seeing some people talking about, oh, well, Trent is might be on a trading block. Trent is a bargaining piece, and I'm like, nah,
so they're not.
Nah.
I've said that Brett extended the wrong player in the offseason. Yeah, he should have extended Trent versus George. So,
okay. I'm with you there.
However, I will give you some pushback on that because George did have 12 sacks last year, 11, 12 sacks, like something like that.
I mean, when Chris was playing better, huh?
Trent's been all pro, not once but twice.
Yeah, I got you. However, George, it was. You had to pick either one. I understand. Like you could have picked Trent, but then Trent goes down with it. Knowing what I know now, Trent goes down with an injury. Then you like.
Well, okay, hold on. We had the advantage of hindsight, but even in hindsight,
I mean, we do now because the same thing about George before.
I was gonna say, but you look at George. What kind of numbers did George put out compared to last year?
Exactly. I mean, not the whole defensive line though.
Well, hold on. We talking about George and we talking about Trent. Now, Trent guards the number one receiver, or depending on how it is. George is. George should be able to get more sacks because he's playing next to Chris Jones.
Yeah,
Chris Jones is supposed to be getting a double team. He should be able to get more sacks just being 1-on-1.
And that's where I think I differ from you in that, because yes, I think Trent is able to hold his own. Like Trent is able to hold his own in a sense of, he doesn't have to rely on the safeties. Like Trent can hold his own, but on the opposite end, George is reliant on Chris playing well, being double teamed, opening up things for him. And since they're both not playing well, you're seeing George take a step back as well. And I don't.
Let me put it
when you need a successful defense, and especially looking at what Chiefs fans are used to. When you had the who was other side of Tamba, wasn't it Justin Houston?
Justin Houston.
When you had those two guys going, didn't Justin Houston have I think he was second behind JJ Watt? Like you need somebody that's gonna go get it, and I don't think you need a guy that's gonna be as reliant, and especially for the type of dominant defense that Spags led defense is gonna demand.
So if you look at his stats,
let me ask you this: just one question, and we can move on. When you're the Tennessee Titans and you're looking at that game film, are you devising a defensive a plan to stop Chris Jones or George Karlaftis?
I mean, of course, it's Chris Jones,
but the reason I said it because again, he's the only person on that line. I mean, nobody's even thinking about trying to stop George Karlaftis.
And it's one thing too.
Get him one-on-one.
All right, it's like this. Talk this and then we'll look at his stats and then we can move. But most guys, a lot of guys, do y'all think they're gonna give you 1,000%, 100%, or they're gonna just go through the motions and make it look like they're going hard?
The next 2 weeks,
yesterday included.
Well,
the guys who know that they under contract and coming back. Which one? Just to give me the
thing,
A, B, or C.
Well, it better be B because you can risk getting injured. So you better go 100%. You can't go 1,000. So you better go 100% because if you do anything less.
I mean, I get what you're saying with 1,000, but I'm not.
Yeah, because most guys I'm giving you everything I got. 1,000 is everything I got. 100% is just
No, and I think guys are playing at 100%. I'm not going to play that game of saying like guys are giving up or whatever it is.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't get hurt.
I mean, get hurt, but also these guys are competitors. Like I don't feel like they give up. But yes, I see what you're saying as far as a level of vigor, a level of urgency. And since the Jaguars game, Chris Jones has not shown that urgency.
Yeah.
And it's been flashes of it, but again, for a guy was on that 3 Super Bowl run, like you need to be able to like step it up, but again, like also lead the team. and that hasn't been seen. So yeah, I think it does. It does roll off.
And just looking at Georgia's numbers real quick, 2022, he had 6 sacks. 23 was his best season with 10.5. 24, 8 sacks. And then, 2025, he has 6 sacks. So would you say last year he was somewhat of a force last year? No.
Did you say he went down in sacks?
Yeah, he was 8 sacks compared to 10.5 in 2023.
From 6,
so
10 to 8 to now 6.
My point is he still has 2 games left. So he could really beat last year's sack total. If he could really come and have 4 sacks and then be the same. And so then you're like, if his best year was in 2023 and he had 10.5 sacks and he comes and gets 10 sacks, and I know that's kind of far-fetched, but if he comes and has 10.
Okay, and how many did Chris Jones have that year?
Unless he's getting 4 sacks against the Raiders, because right now the Broncos are playing for number 1 seed, so they're playing everybody on Thursday. So unless he's somehow getting 4 sacks against the Raiders.
2023, Chris Jones had 10.5.
What did he have last year?
Last year he had 5 sacks. This year he had 4 sacks.
But that money's heavy, bro.
The money year was 15.5.
Yeah, because he's definitely declined.
But I'm wrong when I say he did. It's a.
Oh wow! I didn't know he only had 5 sacks last year. Wow.
4. He had 4 sacks last year. Or 5 sacks last year. Yeah, that's right.
Probably would have had 6, but I think he blamed the media for the kid.
Yeah.
One of them taken away from him.
Wow. So is that again, like, speaking of worth of trade, like, is that a 1-for-1 trade with any team?
No, I can't say that it is. I'd say it's a Chris Jones and a 4th round pick, or Chris Jones and a 5th round pick somewhere, something like that, or Chris Jones and cash.
I'll say this, man. Steve, you brought up a good point. You would have traded Chris Jones at the draft, before the draft
last year.
Yeah,
I said that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm giving you credit for it. No, I'm saying you were the first because that was the best time to get the value from him. You coming off of now. You talked about, was that after the Super Bowl win or the loss?
That was after the Super Bowl win.
That's what I thought.
2023 we had 10.5 sacks.
He had just signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the time to get some trade value for him.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll talk some breaking news. Some breaking news that has happened today, man. And the writing was on the wall, but we just didn't know where or when or if it would happen. Chiefs are now have new stadium plans for 2031. This is the Red Hour. We'll be back in moments. Back in on the Red Hour. We've experienced some loss today.
That's an understatement.
Experienced a little loss today. Yeah, this one was kind of a shot that no one in Kansas City had expected. It was a headline that shook the city. The Chiefs announced plans to move their stadium to Kansas City or Wyandotte County ending the Arrowhead era.
Oh, so it is Wyandotte.
It's Wyandotte County. They haven't announced if they're going to do Kansas City. So Wyandotte County could be Bonner Springs, could be Leavenworth, could be anywhere in Wyandotte County.
I mean, they.
Isn't it the talk of what's supposed to be out near the Legends?
That's the talk, but I mean, you got a space out by the Legends. That's also Bonner Springs. I mean, right on the other side of the Kansas Speedway, that's Bonner.
Okay.
And then right to the,
that's still Wyandotte.
That's still Wyandotte. Bonner Springs is Wyandotte. So then right to the.
But like, if they're on a certain side of the racetrack, they're still Kansas City.
It's still KCK, yes.
Yeah. So
keeping
the name Kansas City Chiefs, you
of course. Of course.
I mean, Dallas didn't change it while they was in Arlington. It's not a
no, but I'm saying, but it literally is synonymous with. I'm saying the word Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like the New York Giants and the Jets. I mean, they're in New Jersey, but
yeah.
So Arrowhead, as we know it, is no longer. And the Chiefs' new practice facility is in Olathe. This isn't a rumor anymore, fellas. This the real deal.
Yeah.
Darren, this has been building up for a while. Stadium funding issues, renovations, timelines. Eventually, something had to give.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this. I knew we were going to talk about this today, and I've been trying to choose my words carefully because from time to time I do still delve in the body of politics. But I will say this: this is what I would call a death knell to the political aspiration of Quentin Lucas, and I say that because team announced that they're leaving on your watch. Now, granted, Frank White is no longer. It's easy to blame Frank, and obviously 100% of it belongs to him. But also, when you look at the messaging that took place around that, people have been paying on this tax for the last 40 years, and this is basically off the combat tax, the 3.8 cent sales tax. So you've been paying on it for 40 years. But Frank and them came out and made it seem like it was a new tax. The messaging was just, it failed at the start, whether it was the Royals, the Chiefs, the local politicians who endorsed it. Nobody would educate the voters on, you're already paying this tax. All you're doing is renewing it. That's it. So you wasn't feeling the pain of it, and you're not gonna feel the benefit of it, when it expires in 2031. So all Frank and them did was speed up the process of what they did. And for full disclosure, I sent Mark Donovan a text, and I told him, I said, no one should ever doubt you politically if you decide to run for office. I said, because you displayed a master class in politics and how you got this done. Because here's the thing, and I had a couple people call me, ask me for comment or whatever. And the thing is, a billionaire, they're generally gonna get what they want.
Yeah,
in the end. And politics or not, Clark Hunt is a Republican. So he had, the Democratic governor in Kansas, she was going to play along because of what it would bring to her state. That's just politics 101. But the governor here, who had left, who had commuted Andy Reid's son, you would have thought that he would have done more to try to keep the team here, and he didn't. And then Kehoe, he was playing catch up just along with Phil Loboda. So they were always playing catch up after the election that took place last year, where it failed at the ballot. So again, they were either going to get what they wanted, which was money to keep the stadium renovated, Royals get a new stadium downtown, or you get a dome. Which essentially the issue I have, of course, is two for one. The man's worth so much money that he could just like the Waltons, he could have paid for the stadium, on his own. But it is what it is. What I'm upset about is the leadership in Kansas City and Jackson County, because of what it means by losing the Chiefs and essentially the Royals sooner or later, because you're talking about tax revenue, you're talking about jobs. You're talking about revenue that you've had over the last 50 plus years, you're not going to get after 2031. So you and I have been to Oakland. We saw what it looked like the last year that we were there, that the Raiders were there.
And real quick, I've said this is a reverse Oakland.
Yeah,
like it's KCK and Oakland mirror each other.
Yes,
yeah.
and so the Oakland, the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda, they are without the Oakland A's because they're going to Las Vegas.
Golden State.
They're without the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas, and they lost Golden State, who's across the sea in San Francisco. Kansas City, I mean, all you can brag about is, all you can talk about having is the KC Current.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody else is in KCK. Again, loss of jobs.
Until the Royals leave. Yeah.
Loss of jobs, loss of revenue. I mean, that area, eastern part of Kansas City is going to be very blighted. And I mean, you get nothing out of it. And it's all because I like Frank personally, but the issue that you had with the Royals, man, you just, I mean, that was a selfish act because anybody who knows politics I mean, they were untruthful with the voters. And I know people talk about the little group that was talking about having the Royals over the downtown.
Casey Tennant,
yeah. I mean, again, if if the money that you had involved in this, if you couldn't outspend or outvote them or whatever, out hustle them or outmessage them, then you deserve to lose anyway. But again, not being forthright with the voters because it was an existing tax, nothing new. All you're doing is renewing it for the next 40 years. You've been paying it the last 50 years.
And and my thing was the fact that it wasn't similar to what they did in their late 90s when you had the bi-state tax. I mean, when there's a bi-state vote where you had Johnson County, Clay County, and Jackson County, they were able to vote on that. Because I said this before, and I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that most of the folks that voted in Jackson County that did not want to have the extra 3/8 cent sales tax don't go to Chiefs games. I'm willing to say that over half of them don't.
I'm willing
to step out on a limb and say that they don't, because had most of the time you rode through that parking lot in out at One Arrowhead Drive on game day, you see a lot of Johnson County tags. You do. It is what it is. And so I say that to say I just wish that it would have been more of a bi-state tax. And I'm not saying that Johnson County would have voted yes, because you think back in the 90s, they were the ones that voted no, where the Jackson County had said yes, they wanted it. So that was the rolling roof that they were supposed to go over both.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, I can't get mad at Clark because he's doing what a billionaire is going to do. Yeah. I mean, and Mark Donovan, I mean, that was just, his job is to do what's best for the organization, not for what's best for the community or the Chiefs. I mean, look, trust me, I get it. I'm we born and raised here.
So Q, Arrowhead's iconic. Sorry, not ironic, iconic. But this is more about, modern infrastructure, revenue, and future, proofing of the franchise. Because, Darren just said Clark's a businessman.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't understand why you can't be mad at the Hunts and Mike Kehoe more than Quentin Lucas. Like, I don't understand that. I think the governor.
Well, Kehoe wasn't in office when that took place. So
either way, the governor that was in the same. If the Hunts are Republicans and there's been a Republican that succeeded the previous one, they all should have been on the same page. They're all on the same.
Listen, it was a Jackson County vote. Jackson County. It had nothing to do with the state. Now.
One thing real quick that Clark, I listened to Clark talk earlier. One thing that he did say that kind of gave me, was that he was over in Kansas. He talked to Kansas. He only had to deal with one group. That was the governor, Laura Kelly. When he talked in Missouri, he did not. He had to deal with the governor, whoever it was before. Mike Kehoe was just now elected, but the governor before that, he had to deal with
Mike
the governor.
Parsons was
Mike
before
Parsons,
him.
yeah.
Yes.
So you had to deal with Mike Parsons. You had to deal with Quentin Lucas, and you also had to deal with voters in Jackson County. That's a lot for somebody to be like, man, this ain't an easy transition for me to be able to build a stadium.
And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think the blame should even be close to be blamed on Quentin Lucas. And especially when you like Quentin Lucas, as far as politics, was also fighting Mike Kehoe and his group from redistricting Kansas City and splitting it in half and trying to turn it into a red city.
Hold on. Hold on. First of all, you conflating the two because that's recent. We talking about the vote that took place like that.
And we'll get to your comments. We'll get to your comments on our chat thread in just a few minutes.
Definitely the vote, but you were also saying that it was his fault that he didn't work on the messaging.
Watch. I said it's on.
Hold on. And that's
hold on. Q. I was there, man. I was there behind the scenes. Look, trust me, man. There were conversations and I was privy to that. Let me put it like this. The Chiefs were not impressed with Mayor Lucas' leadership on this. Let me just I'm gonna say that.
Of course.
All right, Q. All right, man. Okay. So again, when it came down to messaging, the city stuff came in at the last minute, trying to, because the mayor was trying to play both sides. So that's the biggest
thing. But
thing.
Also, if I'm the mayor and I see what you have done with the piece of land that you've had for the last 40, 50, 60 years in independence, and it looks like it does now, I'm not expecting you to come in and do the same thing in downtown Kansas City or whatever plot of land that we choose, because also you're taking money away from our school systems.
But the thing was never for the Chiefs to move downtown. That was always the Royals. The Chiefs just came about when the Royals were like, we're gonna bundle you in with us. Come on over here with us. Be on this ballot.
And so where else would it move in Kansas City?
What, Chief Stadium?
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing was that they would Royals move and then Chiefs would tear down and be able to build up infrastructure out there. That was the whole thing. I think that was the whole.
I don't think they wanted to do that at all.
I do, because even Clark Hunt said today it was up until last week that they they were still in talks with Mayor Lucas and the everybody in the whole. But not only that, but you had all these groups of folks, from mayor to state government to also even the voters. No one was sitting down in the same room and said, all right, guys, we're going to lose this team to Kansas.
And
I think that's part of the voters' fault too. I think the voters in Kansas City and the surrounding areas on the Missouri side should have gotten together that elected a governor that would work with a Quentin Lucas.
Nothing to do with the governor, Quentin. Dude. Hold on. First of all, man, don't say that because you're telling the audience false information. It had nothing to do with the governor. Okay, this was a county issue.
Jackson County. And Mayor Lucas said that this had nothing to do with this.
This was a Jackson County issue.
It wasn't only a city, but it was a Jackson County issue.
But you just said they also met with the governor.
After the fact. After the city couldn't get it done and after the voters couldn't get it done, that's when Mayor Lucas made that phone call like, hey, we need some help from the governor to pitch in some money.
Why do you think after the election the Royals and Chiefs essentially refused to meet with the county and Frank White? Like, that's why it took forever and a day to get Frank White out of office with the recall, because
why would they refuse to meet with him?
Because he was the one that was pushing the
voters
the no
say
vote.
no. Yeah, he didn't start. It didn't even have anything. It didn't have anything to do with the Chiefs at first. It was all the Royals and Frank when they wanted to move to what was the spot now off Paseo, Washington Square. No, not Washington Square Park. It was off Paseo. And then Frank Clark got with the tenants. Frank Clark. Frank White got with the tenants, KC tenants, and then they pushed the ballot of the issue and said, "Oh, we don't want to displace these folks." So that's when the Royals said, "Okay, well, let's look at some other locations. Let's look at North Kansas City. Let's look at KCK was one of them.
Yeah,
let's also look at Washington Square Park."
But again, that was kind of after the vote, because when it was tied to the ballot, it was going to be downtown.
Right. So that's it wasn't even Washington Square Park. It was the Star building.
The Star location.
The Star building.
Right up the highway. And so, but again, when Frank got involved, again, based off his relationships or whatever, I mean, he put out there, and again, I fault Quentin and others because you allowed him to put out a message out there that you didn't even think through. Again, politics is a chess game. If you don't think about that move there, then don't be surprised or blindsided by what happens 3-4 moves down the way.
Frank White came with the notion that you guys aren't giving us enough information. No one else had said that until Frank White said that. Once he said, we don't have enough information, you don't have enough, that's when the pushback came and was like, oh, well, maybe he's right. Maybe we don't have enough information.
But but that's, again, that was a lie, because Frank, as a county executive, has all the numbers that comes through there.
Yeah. So
that sounds really muddy.
So it is very muddy, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why, as a businessman, I'm gonna go to where it's less muddy. I'm gonna go to where, hey, they're gonna give me, at first it was 50% of the money to build this stadium. Now they've upped it to 75%.
No.
Wow.
I think it's 60-40, because the start bonds was supposed to be 70%, and they were, and somehow they dropped it down to 60. So
now they're going to build a $3 billion stadium in Wyandotte County, and then you're going to take, I would believe Clark said $300 million is going to go towards the training facility, and their headquarters is going to be in Olathe.
Yeah.
And then $700 million will be infrastructure around the Legends.
So the players will finally get their renovated practice facility and practice locker room and stuff.
Yeah. So just some of the folks that are on Spook at the Door on Twitter says, so will the new name be Kansas Chiefs? There's also a Kansas City there's a Kansas City, Kansas, and a Kansas City, Missouri. So it will still be Kansas City in the name. Croy said they need he's talking offense. He said, I guess it's over the KC voters' heads that political leadership in Missouri has managed to lose 2 NFL teams, leading to significant revenue losses. Of course, Kansas City's going to miss a lot of money. A lot of money. You don't think so? You look at me like that?
Does that open up room for an NBA team?
It does. It does, but they're going to look and see, okay, what money are you going to put into it? Are you going to rebuild the area around T-Mobile Center? I mean, they have a ready-made. T-Mobile Center is ready-made, but it's 20 years old now.
Well, first of all,
almost.
The answer is no, because the NBA commissioners already talked about expansion going to Las Vegas and Seattle when they do. So
we're talking about 20, because the team ain't leaving 2031 though.
No, I get it, but you see how long it's been since they last had an expansion in the NBA. So they're not gonna expand two teams and then 5 years later add some more teams. It takes a long time for expansion.
It take money.
Place.
That's all it take. A little bit of money. And you're talking Vegas, you're talking LeBron money, you're talking where else you say, Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, up to the spot where the NBA team was already located. But I think we'll get a WNBA team within the next 5 years.
Yeah, because I think T-Mobile Center can be modernized way quicker than either of the two stadiums we have out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Inside of it, yeah. And Darius said on watching on YouTube, said when we win another Super Bowl while in Kansas, they better not have to use KCMO downtown, because there's absolutely nothing.
That's where you have to do it.
That will resemble a viable parade.
No,
route.
That's where you have to do it.
Over the next 5 years, we're going to see downtown Kansas City, Kansas, make a complete revitalization. It's going to be very gentrified from downtown Kansas City, Kansas, where the UG is located, all the way out to the Legends. We're going to see Kansas City, Kansas, that is going to now be the big brother to Kansas City.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Black people out somewhere.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, well, why not?
I wouldn't say that. I would expect more people to move west of that.
So west of that, you're talking Lawrence. Between Lawrence and
I mean, because you would still have what is it, Northwest? You would still have like your Leavenworths, and I think DeSoto is south of there. But you have
black folk ain't moving way out there.
Bonner. I mean, it's already black folks out in Bonner now. Yeah. Like all of that west of
black folk in KCK that's gonna get pushed out, and they definitely not going that far out.
So where they gonna go?
That's the whole point. That's the question. Where are they gonna go?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna go west of there and then south of there.
They're just gonna come over
I don't necessarily see them, going east of the stadium, east of the Legends.
And Corey Norris said, I was embarrassed when I came to Arrowhead. The stadium was awesome, but driving around the surrounding area just after leaving the stadium, there were mattresses and trash on the sides of the road. Seems like some money would have been put to the area surrounding the stadium. And it was supposed to be. I can say that it was supposed to be. However, when you don't know when you don't know what's going to happen with the building, and granted, the Chiefs don't own that area. The Chiefs don't own the stadium. They're just a tenant. So when you're a tenant somewhere, you're going to do what you can do, you know, whether it's the parking lot, which they did upkeep the parking lot, they did upkeep the stadium and the practice facility. But outside of that, what are they supposed to do? If you don't own it, I'm not going to make any upkeep to nothing that I don't own. You rent an apartment. You gonna build some walls inside of your apartment.
The stadium out here.
What'd you say?
Are they going to own the stadium in Kansas?
No, but it's gonna be new.
But they're gonna make sure they got some development around there, and that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't participate in the development out there.
Shout out to Kansas Democrats for this major haul. Yep, it's a huge deal. And just looking at big picture, according to reporting, this move isn't just about the stadium, it's about entertainment district, year-round use, control of the surrounding development, and which is what Clark Hunt and other investors, you know, they want to control what's happening around it. Because you think about around Arrowhead now, what do you have?
Nothing.
Yeah. You don't have much of anything.
I mean, you got the swimming pool across the street.
That's not even there. They put in pickleball up under.
The pickleball's there now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and those folks went in there expecting something new to happen in that area. So now it's like, once the stadiums are gone in 2031, I mean, they have 5 years, but once the stadium is gone in 2031,
but also
2030.
But also that area can be developed. I think there is potential for it there.
For what?
It ain't been developed all these years. But all of a sudden, next 5 years.
Nah, I mean, I think it could and should. I think it should, but it definitely could. But I don't think that area should go to waste the way it has been.
Yeah. Yeah. So Darren, emotionally, fans are hurt. Logically, this direction, the league is pretty much going, because we talked about. So went to Nashville, game yesterday in Nashville. You've got a couple of stadiums that are being built and almost complete with construction right now. You have Buffalo.
Going to be complete.
Yeah, Buffalo, which is in the parking lot right next to the stadium. You have Nashville, Tennessee Titans. Their stadium is literally you can sitting in your seat and where the Titans play now and reach outside of the stadium and touch the other stadium. They're that close.
Dang.
And so there, I don't know. I can't remember if there's any other new stadiums that are going to be built here in the next few years. Jacksonville is another one. They broke ground. They've already started building on the parking lot garage down there in Jacksonville. So I say that to say, every team almost in this league of the 32 teams all have new stadiums. So the Chiefs Stadium, they didn't want to.
Cleveland's breaking
ground. And Cleveland. So in the Bears, they've also
Chicago,
talked about,
Chicago
also talk about moving.
Chicago still they talk about going to Indiana. So they have to find.
So they haven't approved that one either.
Yeah. So here's the thing about it, and he brought up Mayor Quentin Lucas. The deal that they were talking was to renovate. Put some turf down in between the stadiums, put like a little overhang, concert venue or whatever. That was a part of the renovation portion of it. And Clark at first was like, all right, cool. But then once he started seeing all these other stadiums, it's like, you go to all these new stadiums, it's like, why we can't get a new? So then, I mean, if you don't have the money for it, are you pushing this renovation? I mean, I somewhat agree with what Darren was saying, was like, all right, y'all got to come with something better.
And to Steve's point earlier, I don't know, because like you could only tear down the Royal Stadium and build a dome there, but they have to be out of that. I mean, but of course, it's funny because you'd have to build the stadium downtown for it to get built first for them to move before the term of their lease is up, so they could, so the Chiefs could tear down that stadium and try to get. But the problem is, you tear it down, you got all that bladed area, with the construction stuff, and then now you don't have that much parking and stuff, with this quote unquote Arrowhead experience. So
yeah,
it was probably never going to work out.
That's the biggest thing is time. The clock's ticking. You've got to be out of there 2031, 5 years to build a $3 billion venue. It's going to take all that.
Yeah.
And then some, and start getting the area straight. But I feel like, and Q, I'll ask you this: where do Chiefs fans go from here? Because they're asking, and I saw a lot on social media, like, hey, what about parking? Hey, what's the name going to be? Hey, what's the experience going to be? What are you going to do from season ticket holders and things of that nature?
Yeah, and I think Chiefs fans should be excited. At the end of the day, Chiefs fans should be excited about a new stadium coming. I mean, I don't see the attachment to either of the stadiums out there. And I also think they were, far past time to be renovated. But I think Chiefs fans should be excited.
Okay, well let's agree about something. There's nothing wrong with either one of the stadiums. Okay, it's just a sheer fact that everyone wants a new shiny toy, because there is nothing physically wrong with either one of the stadiums. It's just not.
I mean, according to the players, it's bad, and it has been for a while.
Not an Arrowhead. Now they might not like the locker room in the practice facility, but it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the stadium itself. Like, there is nothing. I mean, it'd be different if the stadium was crumbling down and stuff, and they were leaked. Like, we were in Jacksonville when we were getting leaked on. You know what I'm saying? In the press box. That's different.
We saw them in Washington before they, talk about building on there. That's another new place to build in Washington.
Theirs was falling
was the water was like flowing through, getting on fans during the game.
Yeah. So I mean, so if we keep it a buck, it's just everybody wants a new shiny toy, and the thing is, if the billionaires can get free money, they're not gonna say no. Let's just keep it a buck. They're not gonna say no. That's the reason why. Now a state like Kansas has kind of showed other NFL owners the way, and to an extent, Cleveland, but because they got like $600 million from the state, but so they're trying to go around the voters, because if you put on the ballot, the voters aren't going to vote for it. So what you do is you have the politicians do it, who you do it during like off cycle years to where you're not going to feel the brunt of it politically, and you can do so, and of course you'll get credit for it. But again, people, now they say it's not going to be no there's going to be new taxes or revenue, whatever, to where it's not coming out the taxpayers' dollars or whatever, or out of their pockets. So just have to wait and see. But that's the new way that they're going about doing this now.
And so now you still have the Royals, who are getting ready to play bully ball. Do y'all want to lose another team? I mean, we're going to downtown, but do y'all want to lose another team, or do y'all want to give us what we want as far as the downtown stadium? And that's it.
Here's the thing. I think the downtown stadium is out of question. I think they're either going north or they're going out to Overland Park in the T-Mobile area.
You think downtown's out of the question? I don't think so now. Now that the Chiefs it's a done deal.
Literally, unless you're going to give them the money to where they don't have to pay for it.
You talked about Mary Lucas and him. What's worse than losing one team?
Hey,
two. What's better than one billionaire? Two.
I mean, the Royals ain't good enough, I think, for people to be as sad. So,
but I mean, you could still have a new baseball stadium. I mean, you didn't build a streetcar for nothing. Let's not forget about that. You didn't build a streetcar and all this infrastructure for nothing.
I'd let them both walk and start the campaign for a new team, an NBA expansion team.
That's exactly why you're not in office. That's exactly why you'll never run for office.
Good, because if y'all not contributing to the community with these taxes, gone somewhere. Shoot.
All right. The Chiefs
were getting jobs, man. I mean, again, we laughing and joking, but I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to building stadiums, I want to see, how much minority participation you got in there. They talking about 20,000 workers or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, I need to, and when we have that conversation with Clark or Mark or whatever, I'm going to be the one person. I want numbers.
I want to see how many livable jobs they paying before we talk about jobs leaving. Like if they giving out 20,000 jobs and 19,050 of them have to have a second job, that don't mean nothing to me.
So this is a short week. Christmas is coming Thursday. Chiefs play the Denver Broncos. What are you guys expecting? Real quick, we got a couple minutes.
Murder scene.
It's murder.
But I'm not gonna say that, because the young boy is starting. I think he may be a little more composed this week. You have a little more time now, some reps. I said earlier, 1 week is definitely not enough.
True.
But I think it's going to be able for him to show promise. And this could be the guy that you develop, because he was with the team last year, right?
The last 3 years.
Yeah. So this could be the guy you develop while Patrick sits out. The whatever
how he looks. I agree.
Yeah.
Hold on. So are you gonna give grace, or are you gonna give the lineman an excuse if they false start next week?
No, this week too.
This week. I'm saying, are y'all gonna cut them?
Oh, I mean, that's up to y'all, because
I don't make any excuses for him talking about they don't know his cadence. Well, I mean, he played Sunday, and they're gonna have 1 day of practice. One day of practice. So I just want to know. I mean,
because it's a short week. Yeah, I'll give him that, especially on Christmas. Yeah, I'll shoot him bail for that.
I just want to.
Yeah, I feel like Arrowhead's gonna be rocking on Christmas night.
Hell no.
Legit question.
You tell me
whether it's Denver fans or Chiefs fans. Either way, I don't know. I don't know.
Because look, if Denver fans come up here in droves,
I can see that happening.
Why the hell is
this gonna be Mile High East?
Why not? Because if you already had your tickets, this was supposed to be the showdown of all showdowns.
I get it.
Get it,
but you knew last Sunday,
but up until what 3 weeks ago, it was supposed to be Chiefs trying to get in the playoffs. They got to go through Denver.
No, I get it, but as of last Sunday, everybody started making other arrangements. Come on now.
But not if you got a family that's already. Hey, we ready to go.
You and I might have the same schedule for Thursday night, but if I'm living in Denver and I see that, man, I'm good.
Nah, you can't tell that to your family, especially if you got a family of 4.
You want to bet?
Got a family. See, that ain't gonna. Nah,
you get something else for Christmas.
Nah, that ain't gonna fly. You following this team all the way through and through, especially if these years don't come too often for Denver fans. You've been getting beat up on for now. It's time to take that victory lap and kind of gloat a little bit. We're going up here to Arrowhead.
I think
eat y'all barbecue and take this dub.
I think they want to win first before they get like that. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
If you visiting, I'm coming up here and y'all team is moving.
Yeah.
Y'all been having all the jokes for the last 5 years, and it's about to come back to sting.
Hold this L. Yeah, I got the Chiefs losing. Actually,
wait. Shut up, Steve. Just leave it at that.
No, I do have the Chiefs losing. However,
what's your score prediction?
Man, let me curse on you, man. Stop, Steve. I'm trying to save your credibility. Steve, stop.
No, I got the Chiefs losing.
You just said you got to win it.
No, I said I got the Chiefs losing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Didn't he just?
No, he said losing.
I said I got the Chiefs losing.
Yeah, he said losing.
I said, however, I'd like to see Chris Olathe do well. I really would. I think you shouldn't have to go and search for one of these older veteran quarterbacks. I've seen a lot of people talk about Jameis Winston. I've seen people talk, some of these other quarterbacks, but I think I really want to see Chris Olathe and see what he's got. Because he's been around, he's watched. I can see the similarities a little bit of him watching Patrick Mahomes, and I just like to see, I like to see what he got. And I like him. I think he's a cool dude too.
I ain't gonna lie. I would hope he learned a thing or two.
Yeah,
practicing with Patrick.
Sure. So, who you got?
I thought you.
Q.
Yeah. I'll go Denver. I'll give the Chiefs a touchdown, so I'll give them 7. I'll give them 7 points, but Denver might run it up. I think they might score a 30-piece. Yeah. 30-7.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos, man. This is first time in a long time I felt comfortable without having to worry about we got to pick the Chiefs. Nah. I think they win. I think it's a game just like last week. I don't think the Chiefs get into the end zone. So I can see a 27-9 type of ball game.
27-9. Wow.
And that's based off of Bucker and this defense is going to try to prove a point.
Somebody said, Corey said, God bless Jameis Winston, but I'm good on him. I would have to agree, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us up until this point, man. Definitely appreciate it. We want everybody to have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas with you and your family. Yeah, what y'all guys? Y'all got your Christmas gifts ready?
Not yet.
Hey, I've been asking you this for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You still ain't?
They ain't made it to the mall yet.
Hey, man, I know this, though. Steve ought to be getting us some good Christmas gift with all the money he don't want this weekend.
Yeah, something.
Look at that, Steve.
Something.
Man.
Is he quiet now?
I know.
Yeah. Look, because you could give me $5 out of that $200 you won.
Hey, you better throw that. You better add some zeros after that.
I mean, I'm trying to keep it low key with Steve. Now you got people
try to snitch yourself.
You know Steve owe people money, so now they're gonna be like, I heard. You got money for mustaches. Where's my money, man?
All right. On that note, we appreciate everybody. Like I said, have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys next Monday. We out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.